Well, I am very excited to be talking about this topic today. I feel like this is a very important topic, a foolproof system to follow up with new students because you know this, you work really hard to attract new students to your ministry. You challenge your students to invite their friends, you host big events, you work really hard to make your programs better. Those weekly programs, you want to make them as good as they can possibly be. And then it happens. New students begin to show up, and you should be really excited about that. There are a lot of churches that don't have any new students in a whole month that show up at their church. And so when you do get those new students who begin to show up, you should get excited about it. But your job isn't done at that point because you want those students to come back next week too. And the way that you make that happen is with a follow-up system. How you follow up determines whether or not you'll see those new students again. If you don't have a follow-up process, I'm telling you this, you are not doing yourself any favors because what happens is students will come to your church and you will never see them again. Even if they have a good time, most of those students still won't come back. If you want new students to consistently come back to your church, you need a follow-up system. And the key word is consistently, because every youth pastor can offer an example of an outlier. It's the student who came back on their own, no follow-up was necessary. But you know what? That's the exception. It's not the rule. If you want a high percentage of students consistently coming back to your church, you need a follow-up system. I have never seen a high percentage of students come back to the church, new students coming back to the church, without a follow-up system in place. If you want to see student after student returning to your ministry week after week, you need to implement a follow-up system. So before we keep going, I want to tell you a little bit about who I am. My name is Trevor Hamaker, and I've been doing youth ministry now for a little over a decade. I've got experience in small churches that are traditional style. I've got experience in large churches that are more contemporary. That's where I'm at right now. I started Better Youth Ministry because I'm 34 years old right now, and I can remember what it was like back when I was starting out or when I had just a few years under my belt. And the lessons that I've learned in the past decade have just been invaluable. And Better Youth Ministry basically exists because I want to share some of those lessons with you guys who are coming along, trying to do great work, but maybe not so clear on how to make that happen. And so here's a question I have for you. Do you have a system to follow up with the new students who show up to your ministry? Do you have a system, something that you do every Monday morning as you follow up from Sunday, every Thursday morning as you follow up from Wednesday? Do you have that kind of system? And if you don't, what I want to do today is I want to share with you the follow-up system that I've used to triple our attendance in student ministry in the last 12 months. Of course, it's not all attributed to the follow-up system. I get that. There's a lot of other factors, but I have no doubt that this follow-up system has played a major part in drawing kids back to our ministry. So I'm excited to share it with you today, and let's just go ahead and jump right in. The first part of the follow-up system actually begins, it's almost pre-follow-up. It begins with the check-in. And there are two types of new students who attend your ministry. There are students who come with their family, and there are students who come with their friend. And in my church, our students meet upstairs in our building. And so in order to create more awareness, we actually have adult volunteers, we call them our host team, that are downstairs to greet the new families and let them know that students actually meet upstairs. If they come with their friend, they're going to know where to go. But either way, here's what they see when they come upstairs. You see that table? There are 3 things on that table, and I've got links, downloadable links for you in the notes below so that you can download these forms and use them for yourself. The first thing on that table is an About You form, and that has some crucial information that will come in handy later on in the process. Things like name, birthday, address, parent email, school, grade, those kinds of things. The next thing on that table is a form that tells about our ministry. The download that I have for you is a Pages file, so I think it's only available on Mac, unless you can find maybe a converter online somewhere. But it's a half page, front and back, that just gives some bullet points, some highlights, some overviews about our ministry, who we are, what we do, what we're trying to accomplish. And then also on that table is my business card, because there are some parents who will escort their kids upstairs. They want to check the place out, see what we've got going on. And sometimes it's good just to be able to hand that parent a business card. It feels official. It feels like we know what we got. It feels like we know what's going on. Here's a business card. It's got my name. It's got my title, my cell phone number, my email, all that on there. Gives parents just a sense that they aren't handing their kids over to the wolves. And so when it comes to these About You forms, we actually ask every new student to fill out an About You form, whether they come with their family, whether they come with a friend. That form has the different blanks for some crucial information that are going to be very important in the follow-up process. So we ask every student to fill that out. Next step for us, again, kind of pre-follow-up, this is very important, is to get a connection established. Now, our model is unique. The connection that we want to establish, we try to connect new students with small group leaders. Our model is unique in the fact that we meet for large group and small group both on Sunday mornings. Large group is going to last for about 35 minutes in our model, and then small group lasts for the remaining 30 minutes. And because of that, it's just really important to connect those new students with their small group leaders right away. And then that small group leader can begin to introduce them to other students who are in the small group. And our small groups are divided by grade and by gender. And so what we ask is a person from our check-in table who's also a member of our host team to take the new student, walk them from the table into the room and introduce them to their small group leader. And then the small group leader will introduce them to some of the other students in the group. Now, if your model is different, that's fine. Your host team person would basically escort the new student into your room and hopefully introduce them to some students that attend their school or are in their grade. But the key point is that you want to establish a connection between the new student and some of the current students that you already have who attend. Step 3 is to send a card. So on Monday morning, I take a few minutes and just write a card to the students who attended for the first time. And the card is it's a basic white card with our logo on the front. It's blank on the inside. And as an example of what I write, something like, "Hey, Marissa, I'm so glad you came and hung out with us at Southside." That's the name of our church. I hope that you had a good time. If I can ever help you out, please let me know. Hopefully, we'll see you again soon. And then in that card, I also include 2 different things. One is a social media card, and that's got our Facebook name on there. It's got our Instagram name. It's got our Twitter name. That way, the student can look us up on social media. They can follow us. They can like us. And when I'm convinced that when they see the events and the good things that we've got going on in our ministry, when they see those things populating their feed all the time, they're going to be intrigued. They're gonna feel like they're missing out on something. They're gonna want to come back. So that social media card is very, very important. The next thing I do is I send a free T-shirt card. You can see it right here. It says just get a free T-shirt on the front. It's just a business card size. On the back it says bring this card back and get a free T-shirt. It's got our address on there. It's got our purpose statement on there. Very important. And there are some youth ministries that will try to give away a T-shirt or give away something to every new student who attends for the very first time. I don't do that because I don't really want to give a shirt to somebody's cousin who's visiting from 3 hours away. My budget just isn't really that big. I don't have enough surplus to be just handing out goodies to students without any return on investment. And so I think that it's better to give it to the student who's going to be coming back. And also, I expect students to have a really good experience when they come for the first time. And I think that offering them some sort of incentive, whether it's a free T-shirt or something else, to come back is a great way to entice them to come back again. Now, I worked at a church that was more traditional before, and they had a Wednesday night supper. And so one of the ways that we were able to kind of maneuver through that and create this incentive to come back, we did basically the same thing, just on the card, instead of saying a free T-shirt, what we did was we created kind of a cool tailgate party, cookout atmosphere out front on a Wednesday night. And so the business card, instead of saying a free T-shirt, it said, hey, come back and get a free combo meal. And so what we did out front was we cooked up these burgers, cheeseburgers, hamburgers, and we created a combo package for students who'd show up early and want to eat dinner. We'd give them a cheeseburger, hamburger, a drink, and some chips for $3. Well, we included on the card to these brand new students, you can come back, bring this card back, and you can get a free combo meal. And we experienced great success with that. So it's not about a T-shirt. It's not about a combo meal. You just got to figure out something that works for you, for your church, for your budget. So you're trying to create something that you can send to them to entice them. It's an offer to entice them to come back. Now, here's the fourth thing. You want to email the parents. So on the About You form, there's a space included for the parents' email address. And most of the students are going to know their parents' email address. There are some that won't, but most of them do. And so when I get a parent's email address, I'm going to send them an email that looks like this. Hi, Mrs. Johnson. I just wanted to let you know that it was a pleasure having Brandon attend church last Sunday. He seems like a great young man. If I can ever help your family in any way, please let me know. And then I asked this question. I think this is a very important question. Would it be all right if I add you to our email list to keep you informed about what we're teaching and doing in the student ministry? Just let me know. We do a lot of fun things, and I don't want Brandon to miss out. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. That email has been so great through the years because it's established a line of communication with parents. You don't know what they're going to send back. When you open yourself up and you say, you know what, if I can ever help your family out in any way, let me know. They're going to let you know. And it provides you an amazing opportunity to meet families right where they are and to do some amazing ministry. And also, you never know what that's going to translate, because now maybe that student came with a friend, and now you've emailed the parent, and now the parent says, wow, I wonder what that church is like. And next thing you know, you've got an entire family of 5 coming back to your church, all because you took the time to send an email. I use MailChimp for our email list because it's free. I think it's free up to 2,000 subscribers. And it's also really user-friendly. It's very simple to understand. So you can go to MailChimp.com, create an account, and get started with that. Build your email list, add parents to it. And it's important to send regular emails, I think at least one time every month, to those parents, because it's a great way just to keep them in the loop about what you've been teaching and some events that you've got that are coming up just around the corner. When they get used to seeing emails from you, they're going to feel like you're communicating with them. They're going to feel like they have a better understanding about what's going on in your ministry, and they're going to be more inclined to allow their students to participate and make the effort to get their students involved simply because they know what's going on. Now, here's the fifth thing, and this is something that I don't know many other people who are doing this right now, but I think that it's invaluable. So it's send a birthday card. And a birthday card is just a simple gesture. It goes a long way with students because that student's birthday it's a natural time for you to connect. And I think it's a natural time for you to connect with every single student, whether they attend your church currently or whether they visited your church in the past. Saying happy birthday is not overbearing. It doesn't feel like you have ulterior motives. You're just saying, hey, happy birthday. And so I really send a birthday card to every student who has ever visited our church. So here's the deal. They tell you their birthday on that About You form. Again, you can download the form that I used in the notes below. And it's not hard for you to jot it down in your calendar, set an alert 2 days before. That way you have time to write the card, put it in the mail. It'll arrive right in time for the student's birthday. Now, I also include a $5 gift card to the Great American Cookie Company in each birthday card, just as an added bonus to the student. I think it goes a long way to influence their perception of the church, to influence their perception of the student ministry. I think it's a very positive thing. Now, depending on your budget, you might not be able to do that, but I would encourage you to really try to make some room in your budget to do that. A $5 gift card to Great American Cookie Company, $5 gift card to Starbucks. Just try to find somewhere that you can create some value that you can give to that student that's beyond just a card. I think it's a very small investment in the big scheme of things that has the potential to go a very long way. Now, here's an example of a message that I would write in a card. And again, it's just it's a white card. It's got a little happy birthday graphic on the front, and the inside it's blank. And you just write a little message. Hey, Jake, happy birthday. We hope your birthday is as awesome as you are. Your friends at Transit. And Transit's the name of our student ministry. So it's nothing elaborate. It's just a simple message. It acknowledges that the student has a birthday and you thought about them, you care about them, they are special to you. So now it's your turn, it's your move. My guess is that you have several new students coming to your church every month. And I developed this system for following up with new students over my last 10 years of doing youth ministry. I basically did the trial and error. I've made the mistakes along the way. I've not had a system. I've had a system. I've had a system that wasn't good. This is the best system that I have come up with over the last 10 years. I did this trial and error so you don't have to. So if you don't have a follow-up system, I would just encourage you to adopt this one. If you have a system for following up, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. And if you need help implementing anything in this system, feel free. Let me know. I will be glad to help you out. You can reach out on Twitter. You can find me on betteryouthministry.com. You can email me. I will be glad to help you out to implement whatever kind of follow-up system you need to help take you from where you are to where you need to be. Now, I'd love to read about what you've got going on in the comments. If you have a follow-up system, again, I'd love to hear about it. Share it in the comments. Or how about this? Here's a question. In the last 3 months, how many new students have attended your ministry for the very first time? So go back, look through the records. I'm curious to know how many new students have attended your ministry for the very first time? And then here's a follow-up question. How many of those new students have started to attend regularly since that first visit? And I want to challenge you to think about this. Would that number be higher if you would implement a follow-up system like the one we're talking about in this video? So I appreciate you listening. Stay tuned for more videos coming in the future. In the meantime, leave some comments below. Check us out, betteryouthministry.com. Follow us on Twitter @betteryouthmen. Good luck to you. I can't wait to see all the good things that are going to happen in your ministry as you begin to create a follow-up system like the one we're talking about.